Welcome to another pickups video. In this video, we're going to be going over all the retro video games I picked up for the month of October and November 2025. Just like my previous videos, most of my pickups will be coming from thrift stores. I want to show the viewers that it's still possible to build a video game collection for cheap. Whether you want to build a collection or just to resell, it's still possible in 2025. Anyways, let's get started. Starting off, we've got a small stack of Common games here. These PS3 sports titles go for a little more than usual, so it's worth to pick up just for trade-in. I also decided to pick up these GameCube games, because usually you don't really see them around, and the cases are in pretty nice shape. So the total here was $37. It includes all the games that you see right now and also a box set of Invader Zim. I'd never heard of this cartoon before, but it does look interesting. Another day at the thrift store, and also another stack of retro video games. Including this bizarre looking strategy guide, which I'll explain later in the video. Prices were pretty high for some of them. I only decided to pick up just a few for myself. Here at the Salvation Armory, and we find a nice PS2 with the cords and a cool looking PS2 carrying case, all for $30. The PS2 carrying case is fairly dirty, that's why I decided to give it a wash, and I'll just sell the PS2 console. Looks great with the other carrying case that I got just a few months ago from Thrifting. The PS2 console has been cleaned and tested, and it's sold less than 24 hours later after posting. Another day at the thrift store, and I thought I hit the jackpot here, but unfortunately it's mostly commons. But I did manage to find one or two games. So for $36, I did end up getting 2 copies of Harvest Moon for the GBA, one to keep and one for trade-in. Another random day at the thrift store, and I come across 3 strategy guides. In my area, it's very difficult to find strategy guides, but in this video, you'll see that I find quite a bunch of them. And here's definitely the best one out of the bunch. This is the strategy guide for Breath of Fire 3, one of my favorite PS1 RPGs on the system. A week later, I find another strategy guide. This one is for Final Fantasy X2 for the PlayStation 2. I also found this Prince of Persia strategy guide, but I decided to put it away since it's a fairly straightforward game. Earlier in the video, I mentioned about this bizarre looking book that I will explain later. Believe it or not, this is a strategy guide for a PS1 game. It's for a PS1 RPG game called Beyond the Beyond. Here it is right here. As you can see, the artwork in the book and the game look completely different, and there's no really any visual cues as to what you're doing in the book. It's all text heavy. It's a very bizarre looking strategy guide, that's why I couldn't leave it behind. Like I mentioned before, finding strategy guides in my area is pretty difficult. The last time I found a stack of good strategy guides was maybe 2 years ago, when I first started thrifting to build a collection of video games. Another day at the thrift store, I find 2 PS3 Slims and a controller only for $38. It's a fantastic deal. PS3 Slims are a really easy sale these days. All you have to do is test them and pair it with a controller, and they usually sell within 24 hours. I sold both of these and made over $100 profit. The profits I made from those 2 PS3s definitely came in handy, because the next day I go into my thrift store and they have this Super Game Boy boxed complete for a pretty high price, but it's definitely something I never see, so I definitely picked it up. This usually goes for around $100 online, so I feel $65 after my membership discounts is an okay deal. That's why I picked it up. This is the only boxed Super NES item I have in my collection, so obviously I had to pick it up. And here's the only pickup from Facebook Marketplace, Demon's Souls for the PS5, only 20 bucks. It usually goes for $35 on eBay, that's not including shipping or taxes. And next are my GameStop pickups, or EB Games. This is Final Fantasy Tactics for the PS5, The Thing for the PS5. I never played the original one back in the day, so I'm excited to try this one out. And the last game is Worms Armageddon Anniversary Edition. I remember playing this back in the day as a kid, so definitely excited to have this in my collection again. And lastly is this cool combo pack here of thumb grips and a dog tag from Metal Gear Solid Delta. I definitely picked it up because it was only $20. And those are all my pickups for October and November. I'm not sure if I'll have more time to go thrifting in the later half of November and December, but if I do, you'll definitely see another video of all my pickups. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.